What is up, everyone? My name is Ricky. I am in my basement again. This time I figured I'd put a couple lights up because if you know you're a DJ, you kind of need some lights. Anyways, today I'm going to be reviewing for you guys the basically brand new JBL 715 XLF subwoofers. They're actually surprisingly really light. Let's put this around for you guys. I got covers for them now. Here it is, the bad boy, the JBL 715 XLF subwoofer. Let's go ahead and get into it. So first segment in this review, we're going to have a spec segment, a demo segment where I will demo it for you guys, and then we're going to finish it off with my personal review of the speaker, like always, because I'm not paid by JBL. I bought the speakers with my money. Honest reviews. Alright, so spec wise, I'm going to go directly off of JBL's site here on my laptop. Tell you guys all the exact specs on the thing. First off, we have a power rating of 1500 watts. Now, in the 700 series line of JBL, compared to the 600, the PRX 600 line, JBL dropped using crown amplifiers in their PRX series. The 700 series uses JBL's own made amplifiers for the speakers, and what they came up with is 1500 watt rating amplifier on the back of this. Frequency response for you guys out there is 37 Hertz to 113 Hertz. That's with minus 10 dB, plus 3 dB is 44 Hertz to 91 Hertz. Max SPL is 131 dB. This is a 15-inch woofer on the front here. If you want the exact spec, it's JBL's 2275H 15-inch woofer on the front here. It is ported. It does have ports. 18mm and 25mm plywood construction box with JBL's Duraflex coating on top to resist scratch and everything. Combined with the covers I got, it stays looking really good. On the front we have 16 gauge steel grill. It's very durable, very strong. JBL logo down here. Moving around to the back. Alright, so now here on the back of the subwoofer we have the first obvious thing you see is right here there is a fan, and right here is a port so that the amplifiers can be air cooled. It does have a powered air fan, and you can hear this fan running if you are not playing loud volume. It's not a loud fan, but if you go dead silent in a room, you will hear it within, like, I would say 20 feet of the subwoofer. Not a big deal. Just something some people complain about online. I don't find it much of a problem. You have front LED on and off here, polarity 0, 180, pass through or high pass or full range for your throughs, 2-channel input, 2-channel output, gain in the middle, signal LED, limit LED, and then power on and power off. That is about it. I forgot to say those are XLR quarter combination inputs and XLR out. Balanced. Alright, and then I also forgot to state that the specs on this thing are, as said, the height is 21.54 inches. The width across is 17.52 inches. And the length is 22.48 inches. And then the net weight of this sub is a whopping 56 pounds, which is very light for a subwoofer. It's pretty incredible. When we get into my final review here, I'll express how much the fact that this sub is so light, why that makes this an amazing subwoofer. While setting up for the demo, I just realized I forgot to tell you guys about the threaded port on the top. This is an M10, I believe, threaded port. Don't quote me on that. But it works directly with the JBL threaded poles that you thread right in, like so. And then you can mount your top cap on top, which for this demo is going to be my JBL EON 615s. Impromptu start to the demo. So, for the demo I have here, let's turn this around. We have the VMS 4.1 hooked up to an HP Spectra laptop running Virtual DJ 8. It's all hooked up correctly. We have the PRX XLFs, 2 of them, 2 EON, JBL EON 615s on the top. They're hooked up on separate volume controls, so the RCA here is an RCA to XLR converter cable. Those run off the subs, which puts the subs on my booth control, and then the EONs are on the master control. The PRX XLFs are hooked up with right and left to both subs, so coming out of the mixer right here are the right and left channels. They are paired with the right and left channels going to the other sub over there. This demo is not about the whole system though, so we're going to start off with just the one PRX XLF sub, just the sub running, just so you can hear the bass out of it. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear it or not. I will describe to you what it sounds like, but I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to hook it up that way. Keep in mind, the sound quality of what you're going to be hearing is only as good as the microphone in this Canon SX40 camera. Then it goes through all the editing in YouTube and the editing that I do, and then it is only as good as the speakers that you're listening to it on. So it's not going to be, don't expect to hear it exactly. You should understand. Alright, so first test, I'm going to set up only this PRX XLF sub right here. I'm shutting off the mains, and I'm also shutting off the other subs, so you're only going to be hearing one sub. That was half volume on that sub. It's way more than what I can play here in this basement. Moving on, we'll add one JBL EON to this. This is the sub off. Now I'm going to turn the sub on. Alright, that was the sub on and off with the EON. Now we're going to turn it all on. And that was it. So I don't know how well the demo went, because bass is really hard to pick up on cameras. So moving on to, this is the final portion of the review. This is my personal opinion, my take on the speaker, the subwoofer, and all that fun stuff. So first off, let's talk about the sound of this subwoofer. This subwoofer is an XLF, which means it's extra low frequency. But in comparison to an 18-inch subwoofer, you are not going to be able to produce the really low and rich deep bass that you get in most new hip-hop and rap music. You will not be able to get much of it. You'll be able to get some. You'll definitely get more than if you just run top caps. That's No question, yes you will. Up close you'll hear a lot of deep rich bass, but it won't carry or travel as much as what an 18-inch would, which you should understand why. Where this sub does come in perfect when it comes to music out there is in rock and in the 70s funk and 80s music. Any of that sort of music, the kick bass that you normally hear, this thing produces very well. It's actually really incredible how well this sub can produce kick bass. The really punchy stuff, the punch, not the deep low roar, just the punch. It's really good at that. My personal review and take on this speaker is that for my usage, this sub is perfect. Let me explain. I've said in my previous review, which you can check out right here, of the EON 615 that's up there. And I don't think I mentioned this. There's actually a standby mode they go into when there's no signal. Same as what the EONs do. They all have standby. Most all of JBL's power products do. This red light will appear instead of the blue light to let you know that it's in standby mode. But back to the review. Why are these perfect for me? Is because I can fit these two subwoofers and those two top cabs in the back seat of my extended cab pickup. That's probably one of the biggest benefits, is I can fit this basically in a car and take it out to a gig. No problem. When I'm out doing gigs, normally I will bring, this is my setup right here, the two JBL PRX 715 XLFs and the two EON 615. They are my main sound system, and I normally will typically go all the way up to almost 300 people with that sound setup, depending on the size of the room. But I have had great response from these subs at weddings. I've had a few people come up to me and ask, what are those subs, because they're so tiny and producing so much bass. That's one thing that's amazing with these. Let's just talk about this. This form factor of this sub is super tiny compared to an 18. My EON's in the back here. It's literally like 6 inches smaller in all dimensions. It's incredible how small it is. And then it's only 56 pounds. But if you got a PRX 718 XLF, it's going to weigh almost 90 pounds. This thing weighs 50 pounds and can produce almost the same amount of bass as what an 18-inch subwoofer can produce. I would literally put this up, two of these 15-inch subwoofers compared to two 18 inches. The only difference you're going to get is a deeper roar of bass. Compared to loudness and output-wise, they're literally the same thing. Saying that, if you compared this to the PRX 618 XLF, in my opinion, the PRX 618 XLF is better than the 718 XLF, so you might have a better run for your money. The crown amps in the 618 XLF made them a pretty dang good subwoofer, or a pretty impressive output on those. Let's talk about scenarios and when you would use these subwoofers. In my opinion, I would not use just one of these subwoofers. The only thing I can think of for a reason to use just one subwoofer and not get two or maybe even four, because you have to double and blah blah blah. Alright, the only reason I can think of is the fact that maybe you have these EONs and you just want to make them sound more like a three-way speaker. So I can see getting one of these subwoofers, sticking it underneath your table, and then hooking up your EONs to it and doing a high pass out filter on the subwoofer and making it more like a three-way system. One of these just one 15-inch subwoofer is not noticeable. So if you were an average person in the crowd and if there was one of these subwoofers underneath your table and two EONs, most people would not be able to tell that you have a subwoofer running somewhere. Two of these changes a whole new ballgame. You get a lot more punch, obviously. I mean, you double the output by pairing this with another one. You double the output, you double the sound output. You can definitely tell when you're running two of these subwoofers that there is a source of bass there. Now saying that, I typically do run these separated with the pole mounted EONs above them. Now I have done some smaller high school dances that were around 200 kids or so, and you know at high school dances you're going to be playing a lot of rap and hip hop, so I purposely put the EONs on sticks, took the two subs, paired them together, and got a lot more bass output, which helped tremendously throughout the night. There was no complaints on, hey, can you turn the bass up? It worked out perfectly for me. So I don't know if I'm rambling right now or not, but this is an amazing thing to see that JBL finally came out with a 15-inch subwoofer. If you use them for a correct purpose, such as you're limited on space, storage, you don't have a trailer, you can't haul the 18s. If I had a trailer, I wouldn't even have these. I would be 18s all the way right now. But I don't have a trailer. I went with a slight reduction in bass to increase my available space to travel with. Just to talk about my overall setup right here, I'm running a 15-inch subwoofer with a 15-inch top. Ideally, that's not a great combination, and I understand that. If I would have known I was going with 15-inch bottom subwoofers, I wouldn't have bought the EON 615s. The one complaint I have about this subwoofer is the limit light on the back flashes way before you get to max gain on the back of the subwoofer. Now I know you're not supposed to be running at max gain. That's never a good idea to run any of your speakers at max gain. But when I'm normally out on a gig, it might be because the VMS 4.1 has a really loud output on it to start with, but I can normally I can't take the PRX past half gain on the back volume before the limit light starts blinking. I think that has a lot to do with the fact that JBL switched from Crown on the PRX 600 series to doing their own amplifiers in the backs of the 700 series. I don't agree with that move from Crown at all, but I mean they created the new SRX series. If I had the money, I would be buying SRX. That stuff's amazing right now. Anyways, other than my one gripe on this subwoofer, this is an amazing subwoofer. I recommend getting two of them. If you're thinking about getting them, I would recommend getting two of them. But if you have the space to get 18-inch subwoofers, don't buy this subwoofer. Get the 18-inch subwoofers. Only get this if you're limited on space to carry something. Anyways, thanks guys for watching. Like I said, if I missed anything, if you got any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments below. I'm really good about getting back to you guys and getting answers to you guys with whatever knowledge I can come up with. And if you haven't seen my JBL EON 615 review, click right here. You can go check that out. Give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe for more DJ related videos that will be following, including a review on the JBL 518 SP, I believe it's SP subwoofer down there, the EON, and also videos on everything you should need to know about mobile DJ related stuff, such as how to set up speakers properly, powered speakers properly, and information on cheap DJ speakers, which are also back over here. They're Harbinger. I don't use them now, but I used to, and there's a reason why. Also, I have reviews on lights coming. I got new lights coming, and also an overview of my setup for the 2016 wedding season. Anyways, keep those tracks spinning, and I'll see you guys later.